Hello, my name is Jeffrey Schultz, and I'm excited to be able to share with you today about John Autry, the Executive Director of the Community Food Bank of Citrus County, as well as the food bank's vital role throughout this community and beyond. This organization is very special to me. Not only have I had opportunities to work alongside of them in the past, but I'm looking forward to being able to intern with them this coming summer for my internship requirement at Wilmington University. The Community Food Bank is making a tremendous difference throughout this county, Citrus County, Florida, but also beyond. Let's take a look, shall we? My first question for Mr. Autry, depicted here on the slide, was this: what has been your previous experience in poverty alleviation through providing for those in need? He shared, "I believe food security is a basic right for any human being. Yet in Citrus County, over 23,000 people struggle with securing this basic staple, and we fight to end hunger and nourish hope for these families." This has been a passion for Mr. Autry for many years, sharing he has had a combined experience of 16 years in poverty alleviation through food assistance. Notable locations include 7 years with the Salvation Army, working throughout the Southeast United States, 2 years with the South Brevard Sharing Center, in addition to now currently working as the Executive Director of the Community Food Bank in Citrus County. Just what is the Community Food Bank of Citrus County? Well, from their website, About Us, the Community Food Bank opened in January 2013 to provide a local, centralized food bank to support 40-plus agencies and faith-based ministries located in Citrus County. Partnering with organizations such as Feeding America and Feeding Tampa Bay nationwide networks of food banks, there are currently 150 volunteers who come along the food bank in fulfilling its mission. I asked Mr. Autry, in what ways have you found Citrus County to be a more difficult region for assisting those in need than other areas where you have previously provided assistance? Hearing him share about all these different locations, what makes Citrus County unique in the challenges in addressing food instability? He shared 3 main answers to that question. The first is the percentage of need. 17% of the population struggles with food insecurity. Approximately 23,000 individuals, as I shared before. The second area was pride, which is seen all across the map when it comes to fighting this challenge. Many residents in need do not take advantage of the resources available based on pride. The third area he shared was addiction. Many addicts are afraid to reach out for help in fear that they will lose custody for their children because of dangerous living conditions. He shared, in addition to these areas, it's great that most residents don't abuse the system, but it's sad that some don't take advantage of the resources available. In hearing this, I asked Mr. Autry, what do you feel are the biggest hurdles for individuals in need throughout Citrus County that do not take that extra step toward receiving assistance? In hearing his idea, he shared pride for sure, but in addition to that, he brought out something that wasn't too far-fetched for me, and that is transportation. Throughout Citrus County, distance can and often is an issue for many individuals. This region is not always pedestrian friendly, which proves problematic for individuals that struggle with food and going the extra mile to receive this assistance. In meeting this challenge, though, the Community Food Bank has already taken massive steps to overcome this issue of transportation. In meeting the challenges associated with hunger in the summer, the school district has created summer food programs to provide food throughout the summer for children in need. And I'm going to talk about one such organization that's partnering with the Community Food Bank in just a moment. This is his quote: "Many of these particular locations are located far from the children in need. Without transportation, they average very low numbers at the middle schools. These are the locations currently providing food during these summer feeding programs. To overcome these challenges, the food bank will be partnering with Citrus County Blessings and starting a new food program called Feed the Kids. Take a look at this map depicted on the screen. This is the geographic region of Citrus County. Summer feeding sites since 2018, this upcoming new summer. The blue indicators depicted here on the map are where people currently live throughout Citrus County. Based on the population, 6 new sites have been selected as accessible areas for assistance. While many of the current food pantries resourced by the food bank are faith-based, all 6 locations that are depicted here on the map for this new summer feeding program are not, which may increase the number of individuals who are in need of assistance and may not have reached out. The goal of this new program will be to feed 600 children a week throughout the summer for a total of 11 weeks. I asked Mr. Autry, as a food bank, you resource many different organizations and groups throughout the community. How do you select your sites? 43 organizations depicted here on the map throughout Citrus County and 3 in our neighboring county, Hernando County, are selected for these sites. Church food pantries, senior centers, resource centers, homeless shelters, and disability centers are all depicted here throughout the county. We are a proud partner of Feeding America, particularly Feeding Tampa Bay. They have helped us give guidelines and direction with our specific agencies, Mr. Autry said. He went on to state, so we don't necessarily go around and select our sites, but our board of directors have been intentional to try and make sure we have broad coverage over Citrus County. And this definitely can be seen on the map here when looking at this. And with that said, I asked Mr. Autry if he felt that adding additional sites would decrease the number of individuals that are in need of assistance and yet haven't reached out for help. He did not feel this to be the case, with the reality that there's only so much food for the sites that are depicted throughout the map. He stated, we secure our food from Publix, Walmart, Winn-Dixie, Save-A-Lot, Rutabagas, post office food drives, and individual food drives. We have been blessed with a lot more food recently, but usually we are in need of more food. If we add more sites, that's less food for everyone, and it could be a duplication of services. Moving from there, I asked 2 major questions about advertising. The first one, what are your primary and most successful methods of advertising? And the second, if finances were not a concern, how would you like to see the advertising for the food bank? Would this be the area that you would focus on? Advertising is a challenge for any nonprofit organization. It's been a challenge for Mr. Autry and for the food bank as well. However, one asset that Mr. Autry does have is his background in the community, which greatly assists him in fulfilling the mission for the food bank. Mr. Autry is heavily involved in the community with Rotary clubs, Lions clubs, Interact clubs, schools, fundraisers, radio stations, and local churches, all of which he utilizes to get the word out on the work that's being done through the food bank. He also utilizes regular speaking engagements, social media, and the local paper, the Citrus County Chronicle. One area that he shared with me in getting the word out is providing weekly videos where he and his wife come together and create a video sharing about the food that's been given out that week. In addition to the second question, or in answer to the second question, advertising would be the area that Mr. Autry would hone in on. And he mentioned many areas that this could be utilized, specifically in boosting posts, just like those videos that he makes on social media. In boosting these posts, they could receive thousands more views and exposure for the food bank. I want to conclude with the 6 major long-term goals that Mr. Autry shared with me for himself and the food bank. Here he's pictured here with the 2 directors, Grace Hengsbach and Christina Struble from Citrus County Blessings, a partnership that the 2 organizations have in meeting the needs depicted throughout our county. These 6 goals are as follows. Number 1, 50% less households reporting food insecurity by 2022. Number 2, in the next 2 years, to own our own warehouse for food storage and disbursement. Number 3, to continue to use cost-effective means to raise awareness for food insecurity and the food bank. Number 4, consistently disperse over 3 million meals a year. Last year was 2.5 million. Number 5, more diverse income stream, which is always a challenge for many nonprofit organizations. And number 6, growing staff steadily to obtain a full-time operations manager in the next 2 years. Partnership is a passion for Mr. Autry, and as I shared before, and through working alongside partners, these long-term goals are slowly but surely becoming realities. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation today on the food bank and my interview with Mr. John Autry. When challenges arise, Mr. Autry and his team diligently rise to meet them and continue to provide the vital services needed throughout Citrus County, Florida. Thank you again for your time.